This is where you're meant to go.
I've walked this boardwalk hundreds of times.
Really? Are you from?
I am from here.
You're
I'm
from Asbury Park?
Long Branch, right up.
Okay, yeah.
Right up
over
Ocean
there.
Ave. This is probably the most special moment in this building that I've had, so thank you so much.
Oh my goodness. I thank you for saying that. I feel very special about being here too.
Did I hear right that your father is in a Springsteen cover band?
It's been a little twisted. He does a show, a charity show every year, which is a Springsteen cover show. So he gets up with all of his friends. They all form little pockets of bands and they each play a song, a Bruce song.
Do you have a favorite one that he plays?
Him and I play Thunder Road a lot together.
That's a classic.
Yeah, it's great.
One.
That's been kind of a weird tradition that we've done for a few years at the Christmas show. Yeah.
That entire Born to Run album was actually written in a house like right down the street from me. Amazing. But I want to talk about the film. Faye really humanizes Bruce Springsteen, this larger than life musician, especially locally here.
Sure.
How did you ground not only yourself but ground Jeremy when working on that relationship?
Interesting. Oh, grounding myself. I don't know if I ever did. I think that it was like a panic every day going to work. But I think that there is something about this environment that feels, I don't know if it's just like the energy coming off that big wall of water over there, but it kind of feels like you're at the whim of the elements here. And I think that really, that did something. There was something about that kind of helped. In terms of the grounding, because we were staying in Asbury Park and doing these crazy scenes and felt like there was a lot of pressure, but also looking out there and just saying like, it's okay. We're all just here making a movie,
Was there a particular scene or sequence that was most challenging to shoot for you?
Yeah, the diner scene was the most challenging one. And I think just because the levels I felt very delicate at the time. I think I knew Faye couldn't be her anger couldn't be directed like a laser. Like, I think that it needed to kind of breathe around ultimately around the heartbreak, the tragedy, that you can see someone's potential and they can't see it themselves. And that it doesn't have to be this way. But you also can't force somebody into having realizations that they might have later in their life. So I think that was, I felt a lot of pressure to kind of get the levels of that right. But ultimately, like every scene was, I was really scared.
Shout out Frank's Deli for the diner scene.
Frank's Deli.
Fantastic.
I love that place.
What do you think your character reveals about Bruce as a man and not just as a musician?
I think that she gets him. She gets her time with him right before he becomes who he is supposed to be, and he is so much on that journey. And in terms of what she reveals, I think it's revealing like a version of his life that could be what he actually wants, what he's so scared of the responsibility of keeping and maintaining. But is what he wants.
I want to know, how did you work with Scott to kind of develop your character, knowing that Faye was going to be a very important relationship for Bruce in this story?
Yeah. Well, he had written really beautiful scenes for Faye, and he'd written kind of these details in that I found really helpful, like her circus showgirl background and the fact that she's a single mother and her previous relationship had not worked out the way that she wanted it to. And I think that those are all kind of clues about how she's entering into this relationship and how she sees her role in Bruce's life. And I think, he would always kind of lead me in a direction that was more, just more open and empathetic and less fixed. And I really appreciated that as an actor, because you kind of get the options open up a little bit more.
Have you seen the carousel either before or after everything was put in? The difference?
It's crazy, right?
I've never seen the carousel like it is in the film.
Yeah.
I've only heard it from my parents of what it used to be.
Yeah.
And it's amazing what it actually looked like.
We shot there on the day that we shot that. Bruce came to set, and him and Danny Clinch, who was a good friend of his and a rock music photographer, were kind of talking about the heyday of Asbury Park and like what it was like when it was kind of jump in, happen and spot, and how central that carousel was to all of that. So it was pretty incredible. I'd only ever seen it kind of all locked up and in jail.
Yeah, basically. Last question for me while I have you. I just want to know, what can you tease about the Seven Sisters? I know a lot of people are excited about this. And what was it about the material that made you say, I want to do this? Well,
I think Will Arbery is just one of the most talented writers that is currently making any kind of material. He is he was the real linchpin for this, where I'd wanted to work with him for a long time. And I'd been a fan of his plays. And then, just the team, man. Like Sean Durkin, Garrett Bash producing, Lizzie Olsen is our kind of lead lady. And then all of the siblings and the parents. I mean, truly, like, you could not hope for a more incredible cast and crew. It's a no-brainer, yeah.
I know we're all excited to see that, and excited for everybody to see Deliver Me From Nowhere. Odessa, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Nice to meet you.
You as well. Thank you so much.